Guys, I want to make you aware of my new online store. We have got our own branded coffee. We also have some new mugs as well as new t-shirts. I'm going to put a link to the store down in the description of this video. You can go over there, get some gifts for friends and family, get something for yourself. Guys, come over, check us out, let me know what you think about it. Guys, in this video, I wanted to take a few minutes to address something that has been mentioned several times in some of the comments on my video, where I had talked about why you will want to carry a 1911 cocked and locked. Now, I did a video a while back talking about why you do not want to carry a 1911 with a round in the chamber and the hammer forward. And the reason for that is because you're basically going to have that firing pin resting on a primer with the hammer behind it. What I have here is my TSOS 1911 A1. This is a replica of the 1911 A1 carried by U.S. soldiers beginning in World War II all the way through up until the 1980s and a little bit beyond. Great gun, love this gun. It has been in several of my videos. Go check them out. If you know, but what I wanted to address in this video in particular is some of the comments that I had received. I know a lot of folks there had commented on that video that they do not carry a round in the chamber with a hammer forward, but a lot of them said that they basically have the gun cocked back on that first notch. Okay, that is not the way you should carry a 1911. As I mentioned before, and which we're going to get into why here in just a moment, but for a 1911, the safest way to carry that firearm with a round in the chamber is to have it fully cocked and locked with that safety engaged. Okay, the 1911s have several different safeties. They are a very safe firearm for carry. Okay, not only do you have the trigger as part of the safety, which that should be your number one safety right there. As the old saying goes, keep your finger off of the trigger. Okay, that should be your main safety. The other thing that they have, of course, is the manual safety, which will not allow that hammer to fall unless that safety is disengaged. You disengage that safety with a proper grip, and when you press that trigger, the hammer will fall. Now, the other part of the safety is the grip safety as well. Okay, that is an additional safety. Even with the manual safety disengaged, if I do not have a grip on that gun that depresses that grip safety, that hammer is not going to fall. Okay, so that you need to be aware of that. There again, it is disengaged. It is not going to fall. Okay, now the reason that you do not want to carry on that first sear is very simple. The first thing is, if you were in a situation where you needed your firearm and you went to pull it out, in order for you to get that gun ready, the first thing you would have to do is you would have to cock it back. Now I want you to look at my hand position. You can see that that gun is very loose in my hand. If you were in a self-defense situation with your firearm, and more than likely your support hand is going to be used to try to get someone off you, to push them back away, struggling with them or whatever. If you're using your primary hand and gripping the gun this loosely, you're opening yourself up for someone to be able to grab that gun and easily pull it out of your hand. Okay, you do not have very much retention of that gun in a situation like this. Plus, you still have to get that hammer cocked, and then you can see there, to cock that hammer one-handed, you can see that that grip is even less. Okay, it is even much less on that firearm. Okay, then I have to be able to get some similarity of a grip to be able to fire that gun. if I needed to. Okay. The other reason, when you have it just back on that first notch, there again, that first notch is really the only thing that is keeping that hammer from falling. Okay. That grip safety, it's not going to fall. You know, if you press that trigger, that hammer is not going to fall. However, if something were to hit this hard enough, if you were to drop it, there's no guarantee that that sear is going to hold just on that first notch. Okay, you can see the direction here. If something were to strike that in this direction, it's going to drive that forward and potentially fire that cartridge. Okay, if I have that hammer fully cocked like that, if I were to drop the gun, okay, if something were to hit it straight on like this, chances are it's not going to break the sear the same way that it would. Okay, chances are what it's going to do here is this basically, it could break the hammer. It could just hit it in a way that could damage it, that cause it not to fire. Plus, even if that first sear did fail, okay, if I can do this on camera, I'm going to allow that to fall. Okay, if it did fail, now that we've gone just forward to that, I'm going to release the safeties. That second sear would catch. Okay, when you carry it just on that first notch, you only have one single protection from keeping that hammer from striking that firing pin and firing the round if you were to drop it and if it was to break that sear. When you have it fully cocked like this, okay, if something did happen, you did drop it, and everything else failed, which chances of that happening are very slim to none, you still have that secondary sear as a backup. Okay, let's say if I did drop it, that hammer is going to go forward slightly. Okay, all the safeties are released, and it's going to still come up, and it's going to catch on that sear, that secondary sear, that notch. It's going to catch it there. Okay, so why would you want to limit yourself to only one potential fail-safe by having it just on that first notch? Okay, that's why I say if you carry a 1911, you want to carry it fully cocked and locked. Okay, and again, if you were to draw that gun, if the need arose, while your support hand is doing what it can to protect you from an attack, to push them back, to defend yourself, to block a strike from a knife or whatever, to move a family member out of the way, when I draw this firearm, the only thing I have to do then is with my thumb sweep that safety off, and that gun is ready to go. Okay, just like that. Instead of having it just on that first notch to where I have to draw it out, I then have to get my thumb up here, and in a struggle under stress, I'm not going to have a good grip to be able to cock that further back. Okay, as I mentioned before, with a 1911, you want to carry a 1911. Okay, train with it regularly. Train with any firearm that you are going to carry, especially one that has a manual safety. I see it too many times. Folks that have firearms that have manual safeties, when they get to the range, just in basic pistol classes, they will forget to disengage that safety when they are at the range. Okay, under stress, that's a very light stress. That's, you know, the lightest of stresses that you can get is going to the gun range for a basic pistol safety class. That's very simple, guys. But under that level of stress, they forget to disengage that safety. Imagine how much stress that they're going to be under in a situation where they're trying to protect themselves. That's why you have got to train with your weapons. You have got to train with your firearms. If you're going to carry it for self-defense, you've got to train with it, especially if you have a manual safety. And again, the safest way of carrying a 1911, cocked and locked. Okay? That's how you carry it. That's how you will need it to be if you are ever needed to protect yourself. This is the safest method when you're going to carry with a round in the chamber, because there again, if that hammer's forward and you're trying to carry other round into the chamber, there again, that firing pin is resting on a primer, plus you still have the same thing, the same basic steps. You're going to have to get up here with that loose grip to try to cock that gun. in a situation that you're going to be under stress, high levels of stress trying to do it, and it's not going to work very well for you, okay? Cocked and locked. That is the only way to carry a 1911. Anyways, guys, let me hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know if you carry a 1911 for self-defense, and if you do you carry it cocked and locked? I'd love to know your thoughts on that, guys. Again, spend the time in training. When you train with your firearms, the views, the thoughts that you have about how things are going to work will completely go out the window, and then you will learn how they will actually work in the real world, in a real life situation. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Visit my shop that I will have linked down in the description below. You can kind of help support the channel there. Let me hear from you. Visit my website at boomsticktactical.com. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and we'll see you next time.